Hello and welcome. Today we're in managerial accounting, the cost, volume, profit chapter, and we're going to do the high-low method to try to figure out how much of our costs are variable and how much of our costs are fixed. Hey, if you're new, my name is Jeff from Finally Learn. I just teach a lot of accounting, so let's get started. What we're going to do is the first little problem, just to understand, just so we all understand what variable costs are and what fixed costs are. So here we have a company. We have different levels of volume, different units, and we have the cost A goes from 0 to 700 to 1400 to 2100, and you see it varies directly with the number of units that we produce. So this must be a variable cost. So this is the definition of a variable cost: a total cost that goes up with volume going up and goes down with volume going down. What about column B, or cost B? Cost B is the same at each of the volumes, so that's the definition of fixed cost. And what about cost C, where you start with some number and then it goes up every time? Well, this looks like has fixed component and a variable component, so this is the definition of a mixed cost. All right, very easy. So let's work our problem doing cost estimation. Let's say we have a company that has the following cost for several months. So we have April through December, we have the number of units, and we have the cost. Now, the high-low method, we're going to ask several things like, what is the estimated variable cost per unit? What's the estimated fixed cost? What's the cost formula? What if we produce 180 units? What's our cost? If our costs are 8,000, what is our estimate for units? So here's how we do the high-low method. First of all, we're going to find, step one, we're going to find the high and the low number of units, not the cost. So let's agree that we can find the high and the low units. All right, so first of all, what is our low? Our low is going to be, well, it looks like 100 and 5,600 is our cost. Now, do we have any costs less than that? We do. The 5,100, you're tempted to pick the 5,100, but we're not. We're going to take the low number of units, because in October we had 110 units, so a little bit higher than the 100. So we're going to take the low units. We'll take the high units here is 180. So we're going to take the high units and the low units and grab their related cost. So that's step one. Can we agree on the same idea? All right, so our units on the high is going to be 180. I'm going to point to that. And then the cost related to that is going to be 7,200. And our low is going to be the 100. And then the cost related to that is 5,600. All right, so what we have is we need to agree on the high and the low units. If you pick two different data points, you'll have a completely different answer. All right, so we're going to estimate our variable cost. So we're going to take the difference in cost. Now these two are our cost. So let's make them dollar signs so we remember, that's our cost. So we're going to take the 7,200 minus the 5,600. So the difference is 1,600 units. When our units, $1,600, when our units went up from 100 to 180. So the difference in the units is going to be 180 minus 100. So an 80 unit increase in units means our costs go up by 1,600. So we're going to take 1,600 divided by the 80, and we end up with $20. So our estimate is $20 variable cost. Okay, so that's our first question here. What is our estimated variable cost per unit? So that is $20. Okay, we've got the first answer. What's our estimated fixed cost? Well, now, here's the logic that we know. We know at the high, we had how many units at the high? Well, we had 180 units at the high. And our total cost is how much? Well, 7,200. Well, we just have a way now. We know that our total cost is made up of a fixed component and a variable component. So if our variable is 180 units times $20 per unit, if our variable costs are 3,600, then what's our fixed cost? Well, 7,200 minus 3,600 is going to be another 3,600. So here what we have is, and I'm going to make dollar signs all the way across here. So what we have, we're going to estimate our fixed cost is 3,600. Well, what about we did it at the low level? Well, 100 units and our costs are 5,600. Well, what would our variable cost be? Well, 100 units times $20 per unit means our estimated variable is going to be 2,000, and we just have to do the math. 5,600 minus the variable would give us the fixed. So in both cases, it gives us the same fixed cost per unit is 3,600. So here I can point to the 3,600. What's our estimated fixed cost? Well, 3,600. Doesn't matter which one I pick, both of them are the same. So we know our variable cost per unit and our fixed cost per unit. So what's our cost formula? You may not think of it this way, but let's think of it in terms of a cost formula. So remember, our cost formula is y equals a plus bx. Now sometimes you see it reversed. Sometimes it would be y equals mx plus b. Both of these are equivalent, but so either one, it doesn't matter which order you put these. So what we have is y is our total cost. A in this example would be our fixed cost, B would be our variable cost per unit, and X would be the number of units. So the way we would show this is y equals 3,600 plus 20x. So the way we want to show our cost formula is it starts at 3,600 and then it's $20 for every unit we produce. So 20 would be called the slope of the line. So the line goes up $20 every time. The 3,600 could be called the y-intercept. Y is our total cost. X is our number of units. Now in regression and in statistics, they would call X the independent variable and Y is the dependent variable. So that's how that works. So we can use this now. If we produce 180 units, we're going to take 180. Let's take this number and let's modify it a little bit. We'll take, plug in X. So 20 times 180, right? Now we're just going to do the math order of operations. So we'll take 20 times 180, that would be our variable cost, plus we'll do 3,600. We don't have to put parentheses around the 20 times 180 because it'll do that first. And so here we go, 7,200. Now we already had the 180, 7,200. Now, what if, let's do a little what if, and I want you to always think, what if it was 200? Well, we could plug in 200 times 20 plus the 3,600, and the number would be 7,600. All right, so that's how you do it. I'm going to change it back to the 180 units. Well, what if our total costs are 8,000? We have to kind of do algebra backwards here a little bit. So what we would do if y is equal to, so here's our math. If y is equal to 8,000, if 8,000 is equal to 3,600 plus 20x, we're going to take the 8,000 minus the 3,600. Okay, first of all, we get 4,400 is going to equal 20x, and then we'll take that number divided by 20, and we'll get the number of units, which is x. Divided by 20, so our answer is, we think it's 220. So let's see, we've answered all the questions here. What is our estimated variable cost per unit? That is $20. What's our estimated fixed? 3,600. What's our cost formula? Well, it would look just like this. Y equals 3,600 plus 20x. If we produce 180 units, I probably shouldn't have made it where it was exactly the high, but we did. So 180 units is 7,200. If the total cost are 8,000, Then how many units we're talking about? Well, 220. So this is how you do the high-low method. So remember, you find the high and the low units, not the high and the low cost. You estimate variable cost, then use your estimated variable cost to plug in to try to find fixed cost. So that's how you do it. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.